Good afternoon. It is July 5th. We need to do a little pruning on some of these tomatoes. Been doing a little here and there, but I let it get out of hand. Now the purists are going to say take all the leaves off up to here, all the suckers. Suckers don't make fruit. Also in my studies, I remembered one man saying you could take the suckers off, put it in a glass and root it. We've done that experiment, it works. So if it's a carbon copy of the original plant, it too should put on tomatoes. I am coming to the conclusion the more of the suckers you remove, the better your fruit on your main plant is. These are the first two in the row or last two in the row, however you want to look at it. When we set the trellis up, these were the first ones we planted, we showed. These were the ones that kind of got hammered by the blister beetles the other night. Since I was a little lax in taking the suckers out, I had to make a couple pretty tough decisions on what to keep and what to prune off. We'll go through a few of these. There's quite a few, and I don't think you want to sit here and watch me prune them all. As you see by the tray, I have removed quite a bit. It's a perfect example where I had to make a decision on whether to keep that sucker or not. It's producing fruit, so I went ahead and put another string and tied it up as a separate tomato. I did the same thing with this third one. We've got a bunch of fruit down below. That sucker branched off and it's got flowers on it. It's pretty good size. I probably could have taken it off, but it's got its own tomato growing right here. We're just gonna tie that one up and leave it go. Here on the first one, I missed this sucker early on, so I added another string and I'm treating it like its own little plant. It's got tomatoes growing. These are some of the decisions you're gonna have to make when you prune. Now let's go take a look at a mess. All right, we've got two tomatoes kind of growing together. We're not sure what we're looking at. And it's pretty easy to start. And this has a branch, but it had no leaf node underneath it. But this leaf is damaged. We can just take that out of there. Once we see what's going on, and it's kind of leaning, this one's kind of leaning. We want to see what's going on here. And we got tomatoes everywhere. This branch has a sucker that doesn't have anything on it, so I'm going to just take that off. I'll open this up so we can see what we got going on. It does have a couple flowers, but that's okay. We want this thing to keep producing like it's producing down below. Now here's a sucker. This also has a couple flowers on it, but no fruit yet. I'm going to open that up. Take this sucker out. And they'll tell you it's better to take the suckers out when they're small. And that's probably true. Alright, this has fruit on it. That other one has fruit on it. We're going to keep those. We're going to treat them like their own separate plant. Except I'm going to use it. So we're going to have to use two cords on this one. Find an anchor point down low. So it's the same drill. Just because you're leaving a couple suckers doesn't mean you have to leave them all. Alright, since we're going off of that sucker, let's open this up a little more. Alright, we got one on the other side we're going to support. At this point, the cage is only working as an anchor for our trellis string. Sort of have to be gentle but firm. The more the canopy you can open up, the more airflow this gets, the healthier the plant. Hey, well that guy's, all right, that plant's looking okay. Now let's see what we got going on over here. Now when you're doing this, you want to look at both sides of the plant. You don't want to just work off of one side. But we got quite a bit of, we got some really nice fruit on this one. This leaf has a little damage to it. Nothing saying we can't take that one off. Open that up a little bit. Then we'll run a string and we'll treat that as its own plant also. And you can be a purist And you can cut all the runners off. I mean, I could make chow out of those. Here again, gotta finesse it a little bit. Anything that's questionable, go ahead and remove. Anything that's damaged, go ahead and remove. Anything that's curly, go ahead and remove. Anything that's got spots on it, go ahead and remove. Sort of see the theme here. Go ahead and remove. All right, let's see how we're looking. We've opened this up quite a bit. Now I've got a little bit of a jungle going on down there. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on close up. Okay, the easiest thing to start off with is go ahead and just take out the leaves, the lower leaves that are definitely damaged. These are definitely messed up. It gets really tough when you have this many tomatoes. Don't just look at it from one side. You want to look at it from both sides. I mean, use your best judgment, but anything that is messed up, go ahead and take off. I mean, just go through and you gotta make some decisions. You got a little sucker, take it out of there. All right, let's see what we got going on down in here. And since they're on the front part, we can do 2 of these at a time as far as taking leaves off. That one can come. That one can come. Let's see. That one can come off of there. You just look for all the leaves that are damaged. Try not to hurt the tomatoes that are growing. That's a sucker. And we'll get that from the other side. We'll go over there. If you got anything coming out of the ground, take it off. All right. You just got to keep going through this until you're satisfied you got all the bad leaves. If it's got damage, it's gone. That's got damage. You do not need that runner there. That little leaf on that side. All those lower leaves. I know this looks extreme, but I also know that there's tomato people out there that are going, that's all you're gonna do? And yeah, that's all I'm gonna do. I think that was pretty extreme. Bear, gotta clean you up a little bit. What's up? Get this lower canopy taken care of. I'm gonna say that's not even part of the tomato. You watch, it'll be covered in tomatoes. That's not part of the tomato. Yep, that doesn't need to be in there. That doesn't need to be in there. It's just stopping the airflow. Here's connection right there. See if I can't do this without cutting my finger off. That's a runner. That doesn't need to be in there. So all that work I did tying this up yesterday. I'm going to take you off too. That's looking better. All right, well, that's Waylon's Pruning 101. It's one of those things you got to keep right on to doing. But by doing this, you get to examine your plants. You get to see if you have any rotten tomatoes. You get a chance to see if you have any hornworms or any other nasty little critters. And there you go. An hour's worth of work or so. They look a whole lot better. Hey, there's a few tomatoes here. You know what that means? Salsa! It is July, and it is getting warm. Last year, when I started this deep mulch, the tomatoes, we had a lot of green leaves. I think I'm sold on this pruning. I've never had tomatoes put on like this, ever. So this isn't just a snapshot. This is pages in my story. This is what it takes to actually do a garden. You have to come out here and prune. You have to come out here and deal with bugs. Then once you get the stuff, then what do you do with it? You have to preserve it some way. You can only eat so much. And these things grow overnight. And I just put up 25 pints of pickles. We're blessed with what's growing here, and I thank God every day. You take care of your family, you take care of yourself, and God bless you. I want to thank you for coming to my garden. If you take anything away from this, I hope you take away that you can do this. It's not that hard. If I can do it, I think anybody can do it. You know, I don't grow this stuff, I just put it in the ground. You can do this too. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.